First guys, I have the Red Hat Linux 9 installed and Kali also installed. You can go any one of them, you can choose. What I am going to do here, going inside the setting, and I am going to add the 2 hard disk in this. So how will you add the hard disk? Go in a storage. Here is a 1 hard disk already connected. So you can add the hard disk by using this option. Okay. So click on this and here you will create a new hard disk. So I am creating the new hard disk and this the virtual hard disk BDI. Next. So next, and here I am going to provide the, not going to give the more hard disk size. I am going to 2 GB and the hard disk name is this and it will be stored in a same location. So finish that. Now I am going to add, here is a 1 hard disk has been added. Okay, I am going to add the 1 more hard disk. So here the create new hard disk and next, and here I am going to add the 4 GB space for this hard disk. So it is also created. Okay, now choose this one. So there is a 3 hard disk has been attached. Okay, you can see here. So now I am going to click OK and going to start the system. Now in my Red Hat Linux system, there is a 3 hard disk. One hard disk is a 64 GB size, another hard disk is a 2 GB, another is a 12 GB. The same you can add the multiple hard disk in a Kali Linux. Okay, the same command will be used to manage the partition in a Red Hat based operating system or the Debian based operating system. There is a no change in a commands at the time of the managing hard disk or the partition or the storage. So I am going to log in with my user name is a Vijay Kumar. Here it is. Open your terminal. This is our favorite. We are doing everything here. First we are going to run the hwinfo. This command actually used for the hardware info, not found. First we are going to check about the hardware info. Hardware info command is to give the information about the components. Either you can use the -- storage command which will display the information. Okay. Another command is lsblk. You can use lsblk, list of the block. So lsblk command can be used to display the record of the sizes. So here is a SDA1, SDA2. So what is the SDA and SDAV? SDA actually hard disk name. This is the first hard disk SDA, another hard disk is SDV, then SDC, then SDE, F, G, H and much more. So the total size of this hard disk is a 64 GB. But SDV, if you remember, I have added the 2 GB hard disk. Later on another hard disk 3 is a 4 GB. But on this hard disk there is a partition SDA1 and SDA2. There is a 2 partition. One is a SDA1. There is a /boot partition is mounted. What is the meaning of the mounted? Mounted meaning A, this location can be accessible under this folder. And SDA2 partition is a based on the / and you can see this part type is a LVM, logical volume manager. So you can use this command lsblk which will display all the information. Another command is fdisk command you can use. It will display the information. Bad uses, so I need to give the information of the dev, then SDA. So it will display the information related to the SDA. So checking the information of the device name and their capacity, so lsblk command can be used, and also you can provide the lsblk and a specific hard disk name, so it will provide the information related to that particular. If there is any SICASI device added, so you can use the lsSICASI command, which will display the information. Of no match HW info. So no match means there is a LSSCI does not exist on the repository. Similar, the hardware info also does not exist. What should you know? You should know just a partition, what are the partition, what are the size, and where it is mounted. That's it. Okay, here is some commands which can be used for creating the partition. fdisk, parted, part probe, and proc partition, and vlk id. So generally fdisk and parted, this command are used for creating the partitions. Okay, fdisk or parted. And part probe command will display any type of the change happened. For the example, if you have created the partition, it will not display it. So you need to run the part probe command, then it will be started displaying the one. So fdisk command can be used to creating the partition, or the parted command can be used. If there is any partition information you will have to require, so partition information will be displayed by using the vlkid command. So this command will display the information of the hard disk. Okay, let's create a partition. So fdisk command is used for creating the partition. Fdisk, then you need to first a super user. So super user is used for creating the partition, means you must be root either the sudo user. So fdisk -l command will -l command will display all the list of the partitions. So you can check out here the multiple hard disk and their partition. The first hard disk is SDA and the total size is 64 GB. Later on, this having the two partition SDA and SDA2. Okay. Similar, the second hard disk is a SDB. The size is a 2 GB, but there is a no partition. Okay. Another is a disk 4 GB, which having the 4 GB, but there is a no partition. Okay. This is the LVM. So that is the LVM information is here. So first I am going to create a partition into the drive. Hard disk 2 hard disk is a SDB. So what I will do the fdisk, then I will have to select the hard disk. So hard disk is a SDB. Always keep in mind, you will have to select the appropriate hard disk. If you will select the different hard disk, then the partition will be created in a different location or a different hard disk. So now you can see the partition has been selected, and the disk label is a DOS disk label. It is the old DOS label. So for the available help, if you want to check for the help, so you can run the m command and it will display all the help. So what the help? First is bootable flag. If you want to create a bootable hard disk, it will be the later. First you need, what is our task? Our task is create a partition. No, create a table. So GPT, if you want to GPT partition, so you can use the G. Either you can use the DOS partition, then you will create the O. It is called MBR. Okay, so if you want to create a GPT partition table, then you can use the G option. Okay, if you want to create a new partition, then you can use the option. Here is the N for add the new partition. And if you press the L list, so list will display the unknown partition type, means which type of the partition are there. So first we are going to create a new partition. So we will select the N. It is quite simple. You just select the N and hit enter. So here you will select the partition primary, type the primary or the extended. So I am going to create the primary partition by using the P option. If I am not putting anything, then it will be by default, it will select the P partition. So either you can put the P and hit enter. So as you seen here, there is a maximum partition can be created 4 because it is a primary type of the partition. So maximum partition, you can create the 4 maximum partition. So by default it will start from the 1. So first I am going to put the 1 first partition and the size, starting size. You need to provide the size. So first sector always start from the 2048. So default is this. I am not going to change this. Another, it will display the how many size you want to use, like KB, MG, or which how much you want to be used. So I am going to create the plus 1G means plus 1 GB. 1 GB partition I want to create. So, okay. So created a new partition 1, type Linux, and the size is 1 GB. So how I can check it? I will run the L command, P space P for the print the file list. So you can check here the partition has been created, dev sdv1. If I want to create a new partition again, so I am going to create a new, add new partition. I am going to default everything because right now I have used all the last size of the data. So I have created the 2 partition. One partition is a SDV1, another partition is a SDV2. Okay, there is a 2 partition has been created. Now the question is that, yes, I have created the partition. It will be written? No. If you want to save this partition, then you will have to use the W command. So W command will write the partition. Okay. So use the W and the partition will be written. So now if you run the command again, fdisk-l, so it will display some partition has been created, SDV and SDV2. Okay. SDA and SDA2, these are the previous.